Ever since I was a little kid, I think growing up in the 70s, it started with comic books. I used to go to the little neighborhood 7-Eleven store when I was a kid and buy a little 35-cent comic. It just kind of stuck with me. I've always liked that genre. I like the fact that in the end, the hero, wins the day over evil no matter what. That's always kind of stuck with me. So my kids, my family gives me a bad time, but I don't care. That's my thing. That's why I love Superman. So I'm a Christian. Superman and Jesus Christ are both powerful beings who, even though all that power, they're willing to serve others and put others in front of themselves. They're sacrificial, and they're humble, and they show grace. And so that has always stuck with me. God, with Lifelong, I found an organization where I can help others, and I looked at their website and I saw what their philosophy was, what their goals, and they had a delivery route here in the Auburn area that I guess they had not been filled for many years. They always had to have their staff do it. So I was like, sign me up, So I started doing it right after I retired, and been doing it ever since. About 3.5 years now. So. Most of the stops I have are they range from 6 to 10 or so. Right now I'm at 10 clients stops, and that's about all I can do right now because my back of my backseat of my car is full of food. So I feel like I've been out here in the Auburn area for a long time, but working with Lifelong, I feel like I'm even more ingrained in the community. And there's a lot of people in this community who are, they're on the brink. So it's nice knowing that you're able to help. Sorry, be able to help them out. So yeah, it's good.
Volunteers are the lifeblood of Lifelong. We could not do the work we do without volunteers. They are integral to every single aspect of our work. They're helping us load the grocery bags, they're helping us prepare the food, they're helping us make sure that the right food gets to the right people, they're driving to people's houses, and they're providing that personal connection to really make sure that not only are we providing nutritious meals, but we're providing that care and support and that connection to the community that's so important when you're homebound. Lifelong started out serving the community of folks living with HIV, but over time what we realized is that we really had to take an approach where we focused on the social determinants of health. We had to look at people comprehensively and really address all of their needs, and we've been very successful in doing that with HIV. And so we had this model that worked really well, and so what we saw is that we could expand that model and start to serve other communities. So now we're serving folks with kidney disease, cancer, all kinds of different illnesses, and really helping them to have that same comprehensive model of support. With COVID, all of the health inequities that we saw in the past have only been magnified. So we're seeing that communities that really needed our support before need our support even more now. Going before COVID hit, we had about 30 drivers who were volunteering, working really hard, meeting the need, and the community answered in full force. We were able to increase the number of drivers all the way up to 100, which was just never heard of before. And that's one of the things I just love about Lifelong is that this, not just the organization, but the entire community gets involved in making sure that people have access and opportunity to live their healthiest lives.
Chicken Soup Brigade is one of the only medically tailored meals providers in the Pacific Northwest. Our meals are all prepared fresh from scratch here in the kitchen. They're portioned really carefully by our wonderful volunteers who help us out in the kitchen, by all of the kitchen staff. All of the grocery bags have enough product so that clients can make 7 nutritious meals at home when they receive the bags. We find that there is a connection between food and health, and we know that the food that we're providing is incredibly important for people who are living with chronic illnesses. The research shows that when people have nutritious meals, medically tailored meals, their health improves, their readmission rates into the hospital decrease. Their visits to the emergency room decrease. We also know that food is a tool of prevention. So if people have access to really nutritious foods, they can live long, healthy lives and may not develop diet-related diseases that so many people in America are experiencing.
The world we're living in now, with this pandemic, there's more people hurting. There's some of the people I'm delivering food to now are living in communities that in Auburn that are, kind of almost like middle class communities. Then you realize, they've lost their jobs. They're struggling. They need that help. And so knowing that you're able to provide that extra, so they're not losing their rent, losing their home and stuff like that, and that extra food and stuff. It's a vital, it's an essential service that we're providing for this whole community, this whole Puget Sound area. I think the world would be a lot better place if everybody would just, kind of think about others. And I'm not talking about just doing it for your immediate circle. I'm talking about people you don't know, where doing things for folks where you're not going to get anything back. You're not expecting anything back in return. You just know that you're doing something that's helping somebody else. I think it's important for everybody in this world to give back. I feel like if you've been blessed, you need to be a blessing.